Welcome to Career Journeys, a series of videos by the Consortium for Public Education. Here we explore the career experiences and pathways of professionals from a wide variety of careers to help you think about the skills you'll need and the paths you might take after high school.
Hi, I'm Debbie Pixton, a program director with the Consortium for Public Education. Today, I'm interviewing Kacie Farmer, a law professional, as part of our Career Journeys video series to share insights into a professional's pivotal experiences and career pathways. Thank you for joining us, Kacie.
Of course. Happy to be here.
Kacie, tell us about what you're doing right now.
I am an attorney, and I work for a company called Thomson Reuters, which is a very big media conglomerate. We do financial, legal, media. Reuters News is kind of the big name that people recognize the company by. And I am a customer trainer, customer relations specialist. And what that means is I work with legal software. So when you're an attorney, you kind of rely on software tools to do legal research and to basically do everything it takes to become an attorney. So I kind of am in charge of that software and making sure the law firms that I work with, the attorneys that work there know how to use the software or using it to the best of their abilities, and just making sure they're happy with everything and just kind of maintaining the relationships with the law firms and the company. And I work with mid to large law firms in the Pittsburgh, Eastern Ohio, and West Virginia area.
Can you tell us about your career path?
So I was a marketing major at Duquesne University in Pittsburgh. And I kind of just went into the business marketing field when I was in high school, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Business marketing sounded fun. I had heard it was easy. Kind of oddly, one of the girls that lived on my floor, her boyfriend was over in her dorm room one day, and he was practicing the LSAT, which is the SAT to get into law school pretty much. And he was taking a practice test, and I guess I was bored or I was curious, and I just sat down with him and I took the practice test with him. And we kind of were going over our answers, and he looked at my results and he said, "Wow, Kacie, you should go to law school." And I looked at his and I said, "Wow, Jeff, you should not." And so he ended up not going to law school. And I kind of got the idea flowing in my head. I wasn't sold yet because I didn't know anything about going to law school at the time. But I called my dad and I said, "Hey, what do you think about me doing this?" And he was super excited about it because my dad worked in the insurance industry, the insurance investigation industry for a long time. And he had worked with a lot of attorneys and had a lot of good relationships. So he was really excited. And he said, "What if I set you up to talk with one of the attorneys that I work really closely with?" She worked at a medical malpractice firm. She invited me to sit in on a trial that she was going to be conducting in a medical malpractice case. So I went and I sat in on the trial and I loved it. And I said, "This is what I want to do. I want to be in the courtroom. I want to be litigating medical malpractice cases." I went through law school. I worked at a firm and I was on the path to become litigation and insurance. And I hated it. I hated every second of it. I knew that I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do the billable hours. I didn't want to be in a courtroom. I didn't want to litigate. So I'm kind of, left with a big question mark in my head of what I actually want to do because I went to law school to be a lawyer. I remember the day, it was Valentine's Day 2 years ago. I got a message from a girl that I was connected with on LinkedIn, and I didn't personally know her. I didn't know how we were linked together on LinkedIn, but she sent me a message and she said, "Hey, we have this open position with this company, Thomson Reuters. We are looking for a customer representative." And I kind of thought to myself, I remember when I was my first day of law school, I remember the customer representative came and spoke to us on our first day. And I remember thinking, wow, that would be an amazing job. And I just kind of never thought that would kind of be where I would go. I just never really thought about it. And it just, everything kind of all clicked. And I said, wow, this kind of makes a lot of sense for me. I, of course, messaged her back. We went through a rigorous 2 or 3 month interview process and I got the position. And, of course, I'm not litigating and I'm not kind of being in the active attorney role, but I am still in the legal world. I'm helping attorneys. I'm doing research. My hours are very flexible. I get to work from home when I'm not traveling to law firms, and I get to talk to people and help people, which is what I really love to do. So it all worked out for me. It wasn't the most conventional path. It was kind of a zigzag. It was not, I wasn't born wanting to be a lawyer. It kind of just happened. So I don't think that happens to a lot of people, but that's kind of what happened with me.
Let's say I'm a student. I'm thinking about pursuing a career in law. What kinds of questions should I ask myself to help me decide whether or not this would be a good fit for me?
So the number one question that you ask yourself, and be brutally honest, is why do you want to be a lawyer in the first place? Do you like to read? You are going to be reading. That's all you're going to be doing in law school and practicing as well. You're just reading cases, and you are understanding what's going on in those cases, and you are writing. Do you like to write? If you don't like to write, do not go to law school, because that's pretty much all that you're going to be doing in law school and in your first few years practicing is reading and writing. So you have to really make sure that you love those different things, and you have to make sure that you love the law. And I know it sounds kind of crazy, but you have to have a true appreciation for the judicial system. And it is a hard thing to want to be interested in if you don't have that kind of innate interest already.
What's one piece of advice that you would give students aspiring to pursue a career in the law?
Sure. I think the biggest piece of advice that I would have is, and in high school, if you are presented with an opportunity to, say, join a debate team or give a public speech somewhere, to even volunteer for a legal organization that you can help volunteer, these pro bono projects. Never say no to an opportunity, because you never know where it's going to lead you.
You just mentioned pro bono work. Can you talk a little bit more about that for our students that might not be familiar with what that is? And are you doing any pro bono work that you would want to share about?
Sure. So pro bono work as an attorney is doing legal work for no compensation. There are a lot of pro bono organizations that help, women in need, that help homeless people. Anything you kind of can think of, there are pro bono groups for that cause. And as a lawyer, you are required to do a certain amount of hours of pro bono work every year, or a lot of firms actually, put that in place. I personally, I go to the courtrooms and I help people, women and men, file PFA orders, which are protection from abuse orders. So if a woman is being domestically abused or stalked or threatened by a boyfriend, a husband, or something like that, they will file a protection for abuse order, and they need help filing it within the courtroom, because it is a little bit confusing, but a lot of times they don't have the money to be able to pay for those things. So I go in and I do the protection from abuse orders and file it with the court and take them through all of those steps. It's something that I love to do. I do love to help people, as I mentioned before, and it's really rewarding, and I'm giving back, and I'm also getting for myself, because it makes me feel good. So a lot of those different opportunities are out there. So many organizations need help. And I think that that's a really important aspect to think about when you're becoming a lawyer, is a lot of those people need our help, and it's great to give back when you have the education to be able to do so.
Thank you so much, generally, for sharing your experiences and thoughts with us today, Kacie.
For more information or to learn about other careers in the Career Journey series, visit our website and check back soon for our next installment. Thanks!